While tidying up the fireplace, the boy found a chocolate bar that hadn't melted. As soon as his father was gone, he quickly unwrapped it and took a bite. It was the first time he had ever tasted candy. From that moment on, he was completely hooked. He began secretly buying all kinds of sweets after trying each flavor. He wrote down exactly what made it special. One day, he told his father that he wanted to open a chocolate factory. But his father was a dentist and he hated candy more than anything. He immediately rejected Wonka's dream and told him that if he kept chasing it, he never wanted to see him again. But Wonka refused to give up. He packed a bag and left home. For the next 6 years, he traveled from country to country, learning everything he could about candy. When he finally returned home, he discovered his father had moved the entire house away. This only made Wonka more determined to build his chocolate factory. 15 years later, Wonka's factory was up and running, and his sweets had become famous all over the world. But Wonka's huge success made his competitors furious. They paid spies of Fortunato sneak into the factory and steal his secret recipe. But no matter how hard they tried, they could never make chocolate that tasted as good. Because of the spies, Wonka suddenly closed his factory without warning. It stayed shut for 3 years before finally opening again. One night, hundreds of tiny men poured out of the factory. They rode bicycles everywhere, handing out flyers. This was the big plan Wonka had been preparing for 3 years. He had hidden 5 golden tickets inside 5 random chocolate bars, then shipped them all across the country. Any child who found a ticket could tour the inside of Wonka's chocolate factory, eat as much chocolate as they wanted, and the one who made it all the way to the end would win a special secret prize. When the news broke, everyone went crazy. People rushed to buy Wonka chocolate bars by the thousands. Getting inside the factory was every child's dream. Only 3 days after the announcement, 4 of the 5 tickets were already found. Only 1 remained. And Charlie, a poor boy living in a tiny rundown house, was the lucky one who found it. Someone nearby immediately offered him $10,000 for the ticket, but Charlie ignored him. He ran home excitedly to tell his family. When they heard the news, even his grandfather, who had been bedridden for years, jumped up full of energy. But Charlie said he might give up the chance. Someone had offered a huge amount of money, and his family needed it far more than a tour. That's when his grandfather told him opportunities to follow your dreams don't come around every day. With his family's support, Charlie joined the other 4 ticket winners at the gates of Wonka's chocolate factory. Everyone was completely amazed by what they saw. Everything inside was made of chocolate and everything was edible. Not far away, the tiny men were hard at work. That was why no one had ever seen workers entering or leaving. Yet the factory never stopped making candy. The group explored every amazing corner of the factory. One by one, the other 4 children broke the rules and were sent home. Only Charlie made it all the way to the end. Wonka announced that Charlie was the winner. The grand prize, Charlie would inherit his entire chocolate factory. But there was one condition: Charlie would have to leave his family behind and live inside the factory alone. Without a second thought, Charlie refused. He said he would take over the factory, but only if he could stay with his family. Thanks to Charlie's gentle words, Wonka went to visit his father's dental office. When he walked in, he saw the walls covered with news articles about himself. His father had never stopped thinking about him. At first, the father didn't recognize Wonka, but he knew him by his teeth. They finally forgave each other. Wonka invited Charlie to take over the factory once more, this time with no conditions at all. And so, on a cold winter day, Charlie and his whole family moved into the chocolate factory.